This is a video for how to create the follower and axle on Onshape for our Automata box project. First of all, this is not going to be a step-by-step tutorial like the ones in the past. This is more of a, hey, here are your plans. These are the dimensions. Now let's brainstorm how we're going to go about and model it. And then you are going to try and do it on your own. So first of all, we have our follower and our axle. If we look back at our assignment, the follower is the piece that goes up and down. This follows the profile of the cam and actually produces the motion at the top of the box. The axle is what runs through the box and hosts the cams. So it's important to understand the orientation as we go about modeling this part and this part, because that might determine how you would, where you're going to sketch it on Onshape. So here, the follower, we have a 3/16" square dowel rod that is 4 inches length. The axle is a 1/4 inch square dowel rod at 7 inches length. So these two parts geometrically are pretty easy. The way I would go about modeling this is modeling my 3/16" square about the origin and then extruding it that specific depth. You want to make sure that it's fully constrained. The axle will be the same, except that my square will be 1/4 inch and extruded to a 7-inch depth. Now, the one thing we need to talk about is where we're going to start those sketches. So the follower, if we look at how it looks assembled, I'm actually going to sketch it on the top plane. My square will be on the top plane, and then I'll extrude up so that when I look at the part, when it's all said and done, it'll be running up and down like this. And the axle, I will choose to start the square on the right face and extrude back. This just kind of helps when we go to assemble, because these parts will be oriented in somewhat okay fashion without us having to get crazy about rotating everything. So go ahead and on your document, so just heads up, I did rename my document at the top Automata Standardized Parts, and I would like you to do that as well. So if we do the top part here, for this first part studio, I'm going to do the follower. So the follower will go on the top plane. Just real quick, there's no dimensions here. And we're going to extrude back. So that gives you an idea. This is not right whatsoever. But if I were to put this in isometric view, you will see that that follower, or that rectangle, is going up or down. And that lines up with our followers here. So go ahead and create your follower. When you are done, go ahead and rename your tab here, follower. Before you begin the axle, click New, create Part Studio, and rename that Part Studio axle. And this time, we're going to model it on the right side. So sketch, right, in for normal, and then you can draw your rectangle and extrude.